How did Andrew meet Fergie? What's her background?
Well, Fergie was the daughter of Prince Charles's polo manager, Ron Ferguson. So she knew him as a child. There's a picture in my book, for example, of them at the age of 7 at a polo match together. They then kind of lost contact, and she was friendly with Diana. Diana was very keen to have a sort of ally at court. And so in 1985, she basically introduced Andrew at a sort of weekend, an Ascot weekend, and they kind of hit it off. And within a year, they were married.
For 30 years, they were the world's most happiest divorced couple, hiding behind the 30-room fortress of Royal Lodge as if the scandals outside didn't exist. But when the iron gates finally swung shut this February, the fairy tale didn't just end, it shattered. As Andrew was cast out to a secluded corner of Sandringham, Sarah was left standing on the curb of a life she no longer recognized. For the first time in decades, the silence between them is deafening, and insiders say the move wasn't just about losing a house, it was the moment Sarah finally hit a wall of reality that no amount of loyalty could climb. She stood by him when everyone else walked away, but as she faces a future with no home, no titles, and daughters who are reportedly resisting her move-in requests, the question isn't where she went, it's what she finally saw in the reflection of that empty mansion that made her realize this time staying was the one thing that would truly destroy her. The 30-year pact of silence has finally been broken. For decades, Sarah and Andrew operated as a single unit, a fortress of two that seemed impenetrable to the outside world. But the latest batch of unsealed files from the Epstein investigation didn't just contain old rumors, they contained smoking gun emails that directly implicated Sarah in the financier's web. One message, sent during a time Sarah was reportedly struggling with debt, referred to the late financier as a supreme friend and even a pillar. It's a far cry from the accidental acquaintance narrative the pair has pushed for years. But why would she risk everything for a man the rest of the world had already condemned? Insiders say the golden handcuffs were tighter than anyone realized. While Sarah was publicly defending Andrew, she was privately relying on his remaining royal connections to keep her own lifestyle afloat. But that all changed when the king decided to stop the bleeding. Charles didn't just cut their funding, he opened the gates for the police. In a move that sent shockwaves through the monarchy, the king reportedly gave authorities full access to Andrew's private files at Buckingham Palace. Suddenly, the happiest divorced couple found themselves in separate interrogation rooms of their own making. Sarah was no longer just a supportive ex-wife, she was a witness, and in the high-stakes world of royal survival, being a witness often means being a liability. But the real reason for her sudden departure from Royal Lodge might be even more calculated. Rumors are swirling that Sarah is currently in talks for a multi-million-dollar tell-all memoir to fund her new life. If she stays with Andrew, she's a part of the scandal. If she leaves, she's the one holding the pen. But as she packs her bags for an uncertain future, she's realizing that the world she's entering is far colder than the one she left behind. Because while she might be finished with Andrew, the files that name her are just getting started. While Andrew was being led into police custody in Norfolk, Sarah was 600 miles away, hiding behind the blacked-out windows of a luxury penthouse in Zurich. She didn't just leave the country, she vanished into one of the most expensive wellness clinics on the planet. The Paracelsus Recovery Center isn't just a hospital, it's a $170,000 a day fortress for the broken and the ultra-wealthy.
With a private chef, a personal chauffeur, and a team of 15 medical experts dedicated solely to her, Sarah wasn't just resting, she was retreating from a reality that had become too heavy to carry. But this wasn't a vacation. Insiders say Sarah checked in shortly after Christmas, absolutely crushed by the weight of the new Epstein files. For years, she had balanced her own health battles with the burden of Andrew's reputation. But after surviving 2 bouts of cancer, her perspective has shifted. She isn't just fighting for her health anymore, she's fighting for her soul. The clinic specializes in deeper psychological healing, and for someone who has spent 3 decades living in a house of mirrors, the truth is the most painful medicine. She's reportedly being treated for trauma and chronic stress, finally facing the reality of the company she kept and the price she paid for it. But as the days turned into weeks, a new and darker question began to circulate through the halls of Buckingham Palace. How exactly is a woman with no money and no job footing a bill that tops $100,000 a week? Some whisper about a secret commercial deal, while others point to her wealthy connections in the Middle East. But the most chilling theory is that this stay wasn't her choice at all. It was an ultimatum, a gilded exile designed to keep her quiet while the king dismantles what's left of her former life. Because while the Swiss Alps offer peace, they also offer distance, and as Sarah prepares to leave her sanctuary, she's realizing that the home she left behind no longer exists. Even her own daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, are reportedly drawing a hard line. If she can't go back to Royal Lodge and her children won't let her move in, Sarah is about to discover that the most expensive clinic in the world can't buy you a place to belong.
Blood is thicker than water, but in the halls of the monarchy, reputation is thicker than both. For decades, Beatrice and Eugenie were the glue holding Sarah and Andrew together, but that bond didn't just crack this month, it shattered. As Sarah emerged from her Swiss sanctuary, she reportedly made a desperate plea to her daughters for a place to stay. But the answer that came back wasn't an open door, it was a closed case. Insiders reveal that Jack Brooksbank, Eugenie's husband, has officially put his foot down. He's reportedly refusing to let Sarah move in, even temporarily, fearing that her radioactive reputation will dismantle the business and life he's worked years to build. He isn't just protecting his home, he's protecting his children from a scandal that is starting to feel like a generational curse. But the betrayal goes deeper than just a room. The latest unsealed files revealed a chilling detail that has left Beatrice utterly horrified. Emails suggest that years ago, Sarah didn't just associate with Epstein, she allegedly used her own daughters as social currency, bringing them to meet the financier just days after he was released from jail. Beatrice is reportedly distressed and not sleeping, realizing that the mother she defended for 30 years may have been the very person who led her into the line of fire. The crisis talks currently happening behind closed doors aren't about how to save Sarah, they're about how to survive her. For the first time in their lives, the sisters are facing a Mother's Day in total silence. They aren't just distancing themselves for the cameras, they are reportedly questioning every holiday, every gift, and every friend their mother ever introduced them to. Sarah is now discovering the true cost of her survival pact with Andrew. By staying to protect him, she has effectively orphaned herself from her own children.
She is currently sofa surfing between luxury spas and the guest cottages of distant acquaintances, a woman with a famous name but no family left to claim it. But as the daughters pull away, the king is moving in for the final strike, because without the support of her children, Sarah has lost her last bit of leverage within the firm. And what the king has planned next for the exile of Sandringham is something no one, not even Sarah, saw coming. King Charles didn't just take the keys, he moved the goalposts entirely. For months, Andrew fought a bitter, behind-the-scenes war to stay in the 30-room splendor of Royal Lodge. But in early February, the white moving vans finally arrived. However, they weren't headed for another palace. Andrew was being sent to Marsh Farm, a modest red brick farmhouse on the edge of the Sandringham estate that insiders are calling a boggy exile. This isn't a royal upgrade, it's a strategic isolation. The property is so secluded that the government has officially extended a no-fly zone over the area, banning drones and aircraft from catching a glimpse of the disgraced former royal. But while Andrew is hiding behind new security fences and luxury carpets funded by his brother, Sarah is nowhere to be found. For the first time since 2008, the happiest divorced couple is living under separate roofs, and the distance between them is growing by the day. The king's message was clear. Andrew gets a roof, but Sarah is on her own. While Andrew hunkers down with a skeleton staff of just a chef and a valet, Sarah has been left to fend for herself as a private citizen. She reportedly requested Adelaide Cottage, the home currently occupied by the Prince and Princess of Wales, but was met with a brutal snub from the palace. Now she's a woman without a permanent address, drifting between luxury retreats while her bank account reportedly hits rock bottom. But the most shocking detail isn't the house, it's the condition of the stay. To keep his brother's financial support, Andrew has allegedly been ordered to lead a life of total social death. No public appearances, no interviews, and most importantly, no more joint ventures with Sarah. The king isn't just splitting up a living arrangement, he's dismantling a brand. And as Sarah realizes that the royal checkbook is officially closed to her, she's reportedly planning a high-stakes comeback strategy that could blow the roof off the entire monarchy. Because Sarah knows that in the world of the ultra-wealthy, information is the only currency that never devalues, and with her back against the wall, she's about to prove that a woman with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous person the palace has ever faced. Sarah Ferguson spent 30 years proving that loyalty has no limit, but as the iron gates of Royal Lodge locked for the last time this February, she finally hit the wall. She didn't just lose a home, she lost the only identity she had left. While Andrew sits in his boggy exile at Marsh Farm, surrounded by security fences and high-definition cameras, Sarah has become the UK's most famous missing person. From the high-priced silence of a Swiss clinic to the cold reality of her daughter's closed doors, the woman who once stood by everyone now has no one standing by her. She isn't just running from a scandal anymore, she's running from the realization that the man she sacrificed everything for might be the very person who ensured she has nothing left. As the king moves to finalize the family's transition and the Epstein files continue to leak like a slow poison, the world is left watching the shadows. Did Sarah leave to save what's left of her soul? Or did she simply realize that even the most loyal soldier can't win a war that's already been lost? What do you think?
Was Sarah a victim of her own loyalty, or was she a silent partner in the chaos all along? And more importantly, now that she's been shut out by her own daughters, where does she go next? Drop your theory in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you want to stay updated on the next chapter of this royal fallout, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what we've uncovered for the next video.